captioner, and you heard a little bit from Craig Carter, and so now you're going to hear from Linda. And it's not just an introduction, she's actually going to tell you a little bit about her job now. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to start off by letting y'all know that the salary at the Bexar County Courthouse for a court reporter is $105,300. So, now that I have your attention, I work in the 437th District Court. Let me tell you what we do. We do nothing but felony cases. We get all the bad stuff over there. In my court, we have 2 bailiffs at least every day. We have a probation officer, my judge, coordinator, 2 clerks, and myself all the time. There's the state of Texas and then the defense attorneys. So like tomorrow we'll start off with our docket. We'll have anywhere from 45 to 80 cases on our docket, and that starts off our whole week. So from there, they'll come in and they'll confer with the state and they'll try to work out a plea bargain. And if they can work out an agreement, then that's what we're doing tomorrow, is just taking nothing but pleas, nothing but pleas. And sometimes they're first setting cases, second setting, third settings, whatever. Once they're 3 and above, they're ready for trial. So if they can't come to an agreement, come Monday, we're in trial. So during the week, what we do, we also do sentencing. So let's say they do a plea bargain, then they don't want to do sentencing that day because they have to figure out more things, whatever. We'll come back and we'll do sentencings during the week. Let's say they're on probation. They're on probation for a while and they mess up. Then they call those MTRs. So they'll come back and we'll have to do some sort of modification to their probation. Okay, and so then we'll start trial. So we'll start usually on Mondays in my court. We'll pick a panel, we'll get a panel, usually like 80 people will come in, and we will pick our trial, and then we're in trial the rest of the week or until we're done. Yes.
So when all of this is happening and you're sitting at your desk and they're going through the people that you're picking, are you actually taking notes during all of that, or?
For voir dire? When we're picking the jury?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So usually the courtroom is like totally full. Our jury seats are all full as well. And I just stay in my spot. A lot of reporters will move up so they can hear better, but my judge is really good, and she's just like, if I can't hear, she can't hear, and so she'll just make everybody speak up so everybody can hear. So yeah, I'm taking all of that down. Usually those days are long days. Voir dire, reporters usually don't like those days because they're very long. Everybody's just talking, they're under time constraints, and so they're trying to get everything in, you know, on both sides. So let's see, what else was I going to tell you?
On docket, right, I'm assuming like Friday is basically docket call and scheduling for trial. Do you record like just the interacting with the judge about whether or not they've entered a plea or not, or do you just enter like the plea? Or
so the calling of the docket I don't take down. Some judges require it, but mine does not. And a lot of times they'll have motions to make sure that, because they're getting ready, they're building up for trial, so they'll have motions and they want to make sure that the state has given them everything. So then they'll come up and then they'll put that on the record. But my judge won't start, usually she'll call the whole case. And that's when I know, okay, I need to start writing. But other than that, I'm just sitting there waiting. Sometimes I can wait till like 10:30, 11 o'clock before we even start taking pleas. But then we're taking pleas into the lunch hour and maybe working straight through lunch, like we won't get done till like 1. And then we take our lunch break, or sometimes we're done for the day at that point. Do what?
And you write during the pleas?
Yes, I take all the pleas, and the pleas are really fast because the judge, I mean, it's just so repetitious that we do this all the time. And so she'll say it really, really fast, but at this point, I've been with her for 7 years. I know what she's gonna say, and I have a lot of briefs for everything she's saying during a plea. So it's easy for me. I can keep up with her, but like if someone, like if Mary Berry came into my court, she'd probably be like, oh,
Yeah.
you need to slow down for a minute.
Yes.
Because she's not used to her terminology. If I went into another judge's plea, I'd probably be the same way. You know, you need to slow down a little bit. Yes?
When you say briefs, are you talking about setting the words into your,
Yes.
according to what your judge says all the time?
Exactly. So reporters have briefs, and then like if I'm in a criminal court, civil court, they hear different things in civil court than criminal court. So sometimes we'll hear, guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, or beyond a reasonable doubt, boom, one stroke. So there are different things like that we have that are kind of general that reporters use all the time. But what I also do, like if I'm in a trial and then it's a specific trial and they're talking about specific places, people, names, last names, and they're very hard, the defendant's name, instead of writing his name or her name, each time I'll just do kind of like their initials with the asterisks in there. And so I write little briefs per trial to make me look better. So when I'm doing that, I still have little index cards that I use for every trial, so I'll remember every day, all those different briefs that I'm using. And then it just becomes very easy. And if it doesn't work, I just keep writing.
What are you doing when the judge isn't on the bench? Do you have time to shop online, get on Facebook?
I can answer that one for you.
Yes.
So everything, you have to transcribe it.
Yes. Well, I don't have to transcribe everything, but part of my duties is to transcribe whatever's asked to be transcribed. Usually in a trial, if he's found guilty and he's going away for, or she's going away for a good amount of time, like even just 5 years on up, they'll appeal. And so then I have to prepare it for the Fourth Court of Appeals. And, it could be a week-long trial, it could be 2 weeks long, it could be a day. And so then I have to prepare it then for the Fourth Court of Appeals. And that's extra money for the reporters. That's kind of like our second business. So preparing all these transcripts for different people. And sometimes they're hearings. Sometimes the state will ask for it. Sometimes, most of the time, the defense needs it. And sometimes a judge will ask, can you prepare this for me? Because whatever, they forget about what went on in that hearing. Yes.
What is the average amount of time that you spend in the courtroom a day? I mean, that it's like on the hearing?
The last 2 weeks, it's been horrible. I've been in there like all day long till 5:30, 6 o'clock every single day. It's been really hard. There's sometimes where we're done, 12:30ish. Sometimes we'll have to come back just for a plea or two in the afternoon. But when we're on trial, it's a lot. I mean, because you have a jury there and you're trying to finish and stuff, so you'll be there till 5:15, and then when the jury's out deliberating, you can be there till 10, 10:30, 11, 12 o'clock, whenever. They're going to sequester the jury, then they're going to want us to be there as long as we can, because the jury doesn't want to spend the night in a hotel. So it just varies.
Tell them what kind of cases you hear in criminal court, because they might not know what a felony is.
We do capital murders, all the way up to capital murders. My court, we were created like 7 years ago, and my court got a lot of criminal murder trials. We had like 40 cases, 40 murders alone. And no, actually it was 50 when we started. The average criminal court will have 7 to 8. So we did so many murder trials. I was on TV a lot. But we do a lot of bad cases.
So if, in your case, you're already a reporter, so you apply at the Barron County website or something, and what, the judge picks you, or how does that work?
So each elected judge will hire their own reporter, so to speak. I say so to speak because they get to choose which reporter they want. But we're employed through the county, like they're allotted so much money for our spot, our position. Yes?
I was kind of going to add on to what you were saying as far as Mary Jo being able to step into your court, and it'll be kind of different for her. I remember, and of course I'm not a court reporter, but just being a court clerk, and it will be different because in Sid Carl's court, he would take 7 pleas at a time.
Oh yeah.
So that's something that you'd have to
Yeah.
get used to. But then in some courts, you might not do that much, that many cases or whatnot. So.
And he's been around for a long time, so his docket's controlled, it's small. And ours is actually really small considering that we started out with so many cases. We're like in the top, like 4 courts now, as far as our cases have gone down that much because we've been working that much. We've been working a lot.
She has a question.
Are court reporters ever sequestered?
No.
So no matter if the jury's sequestered for a trial, you get to go to your house in your own notebook.
Yeah. Now, there have been times where a case will change venue, and so the judge will pick up, and a lot of times the court reporter will follow their judge, and they will go, wherever they're going to have that trial. I've never had that happen, but that has happened.
Do judges have more than one reporter working with?
Not that's employed. Now, we will have subs that come in, like if I'm on vacation or sick or whatever, we'll have other people fill in.
You opened up mentioning about your salary. Is that base? Do you get any bonuses? Do you
That's
get
base, depending on how long the reporter's been there, because that's just base. The longer you've been there, the more you'll make on top of that. But then each reporter makes different, on your transcripts, you'll make a different amount. Some reporters have made so much money that they've made more than their salary, just on records. I really haven't heard of that in a long time, but I've known some reporters that have made that much.
Okay, so let's talk about the record. So you don't have to make it in every case,
Right.
but the ones that end in hung jury, mistrial, appeal, something that's appealable,
Right.
then do you have to make one for the court at no charge and then for each attorney in charge, or how does that work?
Okay, so I'm in a criminal court. A lot of times they're sent off to prison. So then they become indigent. So the county ends up paying it. And so what happens in that case is we can only charge the county $3.50 a page, and then we have to file it, and then it becomes kind of public record where the defense attorney can get it. Whoever's doing the appeal, they can have access to it. So that's how that usually works. I usually don't charge my judge unless she asks for something specific that's going to go to a different division. And then, it's not just going to her eyes, but I have to do it for other purposes. Then I'll charge her as well. But there have been times, I'm working on a case right now where the guy's not indigent. I'll tell you just a little bit about him. He was a pilot in the Air Force, and he got charged with aggravated sexual assault on a child. And so now he's doing 20 years. He actually retired from the Air Force. And so now he's going to prison. And he had another business, so he had a lot of money. And so he's not indigent. He's hiring another attorney for his appeal. And he gave me the money up front just to do the appeal. So those cases are sweet, but I don't see them a whole lot in the criminal court.
So do you do like an electronic file, or do you actually print it out and deliver a record? Like how does that, is it all digitized now?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everything, well, for the most part it is. Like Fourth Court of Appeals won't accept anything on paper anymore.
I didn't know if they moved.
Yeah, no. And some attorneys still want it old school. They still want it on paper. And depending on what it's for, if it's like pretrial stuff and they want to have it for the trial, a lot of times they are old school and they still want it on paper. But I've run into a lot of them where they've gotten to the point where they're taking their laptops in, and so they do want us to give them, PDF file or whatever, so they can have it up on their computer.
Understanding that some of these things are really important documents that have, they're going to other courts and so forth. Do you ever, when you're typing, like maybe when you started out, do they allow for recorders on the side to actually catch all the verbiage?
Oh yeah. I have a digital recorder.
Okay.
And also my software, I'm sure most people's software will record as well. So
Oh.
I have 2 backups.
So if it's like recorded, if you're doing a record and you're ended up giving someone like a disc copy, so you charge, is that like a cheaper fee for them?
I still charge per page.
Okay.
It's per page, whether they're getting it all, you know, I email it to them or whatever, it's per page.
Clarification. When you say $3.50 a page, are you talking $3.50 or $350?
$3.50 a page. But you can have, I have transcripts that are over 1,000 pages. So, oh yeah. In criminal courts, yeah. My average trial probably lasts about a week and a half. You know, and we're fixing to get into a couple murder trials. Actually, my next one's going to be a double murder. So 2 guys are charged with the same murder. So we're going to try them together. It would be very sweet if it happens, but I really don't think it's going to happen. But because it's just too sweet. All the attorneys are like slow, the state's slow, everything just seems like this is too good to be true. So we're supposed to try that around the 15th of October. And so if they find them both guilty and they both appeal, then I would have to prepare for the 4th Court of Appeals for both separately. I would charge separately, but there's only one original, and then there's, you know, just more copies, so it's just more money for me.
So who would get the original? Which attorneys would that go to?
Well, they would each, so there's an A and B case. There has to be an original for each case, the A case and the B case. And so it really doesn't matter at that point if they're both indigent. You know, like we've had some pretrial stuff, and I just like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, y'all figure it out. I'm just going to charge you one price because I'm not charging the indigent rate. I'm charging my rate, and y'all can split it. So that's what I'm doing for them. But.
So as an employee of the county, when you charge for these additional, do you have to have your own individual business name, or how do you do that?
I don't have to have my own individual. Like when I charge defense attorneys, sometimes they'll ask me for my social security number because they're going to go ahead and for tax purposes they'll report it. You know, because that's a tax write-off for them, and so I have to give mine to the IRS as well.
Are there any more questions for Linda?
Well,
Teresa?
When you first got your certification, did you go straight into courtroom, or did you do?
I did freelancing for about 2 years, and then where I was working at, we were doing a lot of traveling, like to Laredo, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, and it just got very old for me really quick. And so I wanted to do something more here in San Antonio, and you know, I was just getting married, having kids, all that stuff, so I didn't want to travel anymore like that. And I wanted job security, retirement. Retirement is awesome over here.
What are some of the, maybe the big name murder trials that we might have heard about on the news?
Well, did y'all hear about the, I'm doing the one right now with Nico LaHood where he was actually trying it with the state, and that big old mess up happened, and it's still going on. That's my court. And then I did the one where Nico did a murder trial probably about a year ago, and I mean it was a very juicy case, and he's only tried 2 cases in Bexar County, and both of them have been in my court as far as when he's been the elected district attorney. So
when you your initial training, how quickly were you comfortable working in this area?
well, the day I was certified, the day I got notice, I went out that very next Monday and took a deposition. So yeah.
So with your experience now with the court, what other kind of jobs could you take that might be even more lucrative?
Well,
Or just different?
yeah, well, we had the cart writer last week that came in and talked about, you know, writing for, I guess, closed captioning and stuff like that. You can do stuff in depot work. You can do stuff, I guess, for people in school, different types of cart writing and stuff.
I do have a question, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What was it like can you compare being the reporter or recorder for a deposition with just attorneys in the room versus how maybe you're treated when you're in a courtroom with a judge looking over their shoulder? Do the attorneys act badly in the depositions?
I think they behave worse without a judge there because they're on their best behavior in front of a judge, and plus, you know, the judge is going to take control for the most part over all that. And when you have two attorneys that are like hot-headed in a deposition, you know, and you're just like telling them, okay, stop, sometimes they'll just keep going until you're just like, okay, I'm done, I'm walking out the room. That's the only way you can shut them up sometimes.
We have time for one more question.
Yes.
Just in regards actually to something that was handed out earlier, and I know that this is for your class or the class lineup for the administration, but what about the people who work full-time? Is there a place where we can go and see what the schedule is for people who work during the day?
Miss Woodard's in the back of the room, and she would be the one to answer that question. So, in fact, she is going to be the person that will be answering your questions with regards to the paperwork that she handed. And she's in the back of the room now. Miss Woodard, did you hear her question?
No, I didn't.
Okay. She had some questions with regards to this paperwork here, and you can go ahead.
Basically how it aligned with people who work full-time during the day as
Yeah.
far as the class schedule and the offerings for those full-time people.
We're going to be offering a 9th theory class this next semester that we have never offered before. So it's either that or it can be, you can access it online. We also have an online program. So you can do it, so it's come at night, or you can do it totally online. And we're going to offer 3 theory classes in the spring.
Oh, totally
One
awesome.
here on campus, one online, and one night class.
So spring is your next step.
Spring is the next session.
It'll start in January. Okay, that's when theory will start, and that's good for y'all. So y'all can go to night class or online. Okay, some of you can go online. The thing about online, you just have to be very disciplined. You know, they give you homework. It's not like this, you know, where I'm just saying, y'all just practice 2 hours, okay? Because they're going to give you homework to make sure you practice. Okay, that's the purpose behind it. Thank you, Linda. You did a fantastic job. Yeah, but interesting job. And overall, you know, I'm going to bring you, sir, we have 5 or so different careers with court reporting you could go through. And so you heard from our court captioner last week, and Linda's in criminal district court. And so you're going to hear from a federal official next Tuesday that works in the federal court system. He's fixing to retire, and its federal court is very different than, say, where we work, state court, okay? And Tanya you're going to hear from her too. She works in a county court that does misdemeanors. So you're going to kind of hear everything about court reporters, and then we're going to have we're going to have 2 freelancers come talk to you, so you get a feel for, well, what is a freelancer? What is their job versus her job? Okay, as an official reporter. The one thing about an official reporter, our first and foremost duty for an official court reporter, the reason they pay you the money is that you're going to be in that courtroom, okay? That's what your number 1 duty is, to be in that courtroom when that judge is in the courtroom. Your second duty is to get those records out. There's where your court reporting skills are going to come in, how fast you are, because you have 2 duties. It's not whether you want to do a record, it's you have to do a record. So it's not a want, and it's extra money, yes, but you have to. It's a part of what we call your official duties, okay? When the woman that came in, the Kathleen that came, the captioner, remember, she said, I never wanted to do another page. I never wanted to produce another page again. Her job, she just gets paid by the hour. She never sees that record. Once it goes on TV or whatever she's doing, it flashes up there. She never goes back to it. It is done, okay? That's the difference, okay? We have to go to work, and we have an 8 to 5 job, basically, okay? She stays at home in her pajamas and works at home by the hour, okay? So you're going to hear all the different careers in court reporting once you learn this machine, and it's all based on this machine, okay? And that way you can, whatever fits you, your lifestyle, whatever you want to do, if you're raising kids, whatever you're doing, you want to work a little bit, you want to work a lot, it's out there for you, okay? You just got to learn the machine. Minor detail. But it's a good one. Okay? Are there any questions before we move on to I? Okay. Okay. And you know, Linda, if you want to ask her anything personally, you know, she's here and she'll be here for the rest of the 8 weeks. Okay? And Tanya too. You know, y'all have any questions, feel free. That's what we're here for. Okay? If you're really interested in becoming a court reporter, now's the time to ask. Okay. So it's 8 o'clock.
Retirement?
Retirement, I have to ask about
For every
retirement.
dollar that gets put in, the county puts in 2.
Say what?
Yeah.
But they put it in like when you're about to retire, so you're building up all this money, all this money, all this money.
Stacking
And the
up.
day before you retire, or like right at the very end, that's when they'll match it times 2. It's awesome.
Yeah, my husband worked at USAA for 38 years, and he said, I cannot believe the retirement package that the county has. And if you think about it, you know, even our cost of living increase, we were at 101,000 last year, and we get the 3%. Well, 3% times 101 is a lot of money. So basically it added up to another $100 paycheck, $200 more a month. So we're very blessed here. We're very blessed. Not every county, not every state has the opportunities that we do. The disposable income for reporting is very good here. And that's why we need you guys here, because if we don't have reporters, really, that's all we got? It's not good enough. Justice is too important to depend on Siri or any kind of electronic recording. We can't have that. People will be in prison falsely accused, and they'll never get out because there's no transcript that Linda prepared that 30 years later, when they've been sitting in prison, they can go back and look at and say, Michael Morton, you did not kill your wife. We're going to let you go. And then Judge Harrell will exonerate him and he'll be free. He's been free for 6 years. That's what happens when you have that transcript, that written record that has been archived. That's how important it is.
So, okay, so you're our future, so we're going to continue here. So we can get our next lesson done. And you're going to have lots of opportunities to ask questions. Okay? All right, so we're going to learn, let me see where we're at here. I thought we were learning the I. Oh, we are. Okay. Another review. Okay, we're going to warm up, okay? And we're going to review. So we're going to do the vowels. Here we go. Short A. Ready? Home position. Home position. Home position. Home position. Home position. Home position. A, home position. A, home position. A, home position. Okay, we're going to write the initial B. That's with your left hand. B, home position. B, home position. The final B. B, home position. B, home position. B, home position. The initial D, D, home position. D, home position. D, home position. Okay, let me see. Where did it go? Okay. I'm a court reporter. Okay, there it is. Gosh, I better go with this. There we go. Okay. I'm going to start back over here, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Left hand D, okay? D, 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 home position. D, 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 home position. D, 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 home position. Final D, 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 that's with your pinky. D, home position. Quick. D, 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 home position. D, 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 home position. Shorty. E, 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 home position. E, 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 home position. E, 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 home position. Long E. E, 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 home position. E, 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 home position. Initial F. F, 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 home position. F, 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 home position. F, 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 home position. Final F. F, 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 home position. F, 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 home position. F, 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 home position. Initial G with your left hand. G, 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 home position. G, 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 home position. G, 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 home position. Final G. G, 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 home position. G, 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 home position. G, 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 home position. Initial H, 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 home position. H, 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 home position. H, 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 home position. Number 4. 4, 4, 4, home position. 4, 4, 4, home position. 4, 4, 4, home position. Number 5. 5, 5, 5, home position. 5, 5, 5, home position. 5, 5, 5, home position. 6, 6, 6, home position. 6, 6, 6, home position. 6, 6, 6, home position. How'd y'all do? Good. Okay, now we're going to learn the I. Okay? The first day of class, I told y'all, you look at the vowels here and you don't see all the vowels. Well, your I is going to be your only combination vowel. Okay? Because you see there's only 4 letters there. Your I is going to be the E and the U at the same time. Okay? You're going to hit your right thumb over that. It's a combination. Just like you learned the combination consonants, this is your combination vowel. And it is your only combination vowel. So the I is going to be, you depress it down with your thumb at the same time. Like try it. Just hit your thumb on the I. Okay? It's going to go here. Like that. And just hit it together. Not separate because you're going to get an E or you're going to get a U. You got to hit it together. Okay? In one stroke. Okay? So let's try that. Now, we have a short I and we have a long I. Just like all the other vowels. It's all about sounds. Okay? The letter by itself is the short sound. Okay? So right now it's the letter I, the short sound. So it's EU. From now on, anytime you see that EU like that, it's going to be an I. You're just going to have to it's going to go in your brain. That is an I. It's not EU. It's an I. Okay? Okay. So here we go. Okay. Ready? You know what I was thinking? That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
Are you going to do eh and
well, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like hip. Oh, that's a.
And then
Like him.
Right? It has to be
Okay, This could be strange, but we're doing it. Okay. Okay, y'all ready? That's how I'm gonna do it. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Okay, here we go. position. Home 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 position. Now, words have a short eye and a long eye, like bit and bite, hid and hide, rid and ride, sit and sight, mit and might, miss and mice, pin and pine, din and dine. So, the only difference in those letters is your vowel, and it's the sound of the vowel, okay? So you're going to be writing the same left hand and the same right hand, but it's going to be a short I or a long I, okay? That makes a difference when you're writing, when you're learning to write. It's what you hear, okay? Now remember the double opposite rule. The long I is the A and O using the left thumb and the I, okay? So in this particular case, guess what long I is? It's going to be everything. All four vowels together is your long I. Remember your long E was A, O, and E, right? So they're not the same. This is where accuracy becomes very important, because you can have the initial D and you have a long E and you have the ending D and that's D. But if you stick in that U and you have a long I, the word just changed to died, okay? So it makes a huge difference. Your vowels are very, very important here. And this is where accuracy becomes important. So that's why it tells you to read your notes back, okay? Because that can make a big difference if you're writing deed and died, okay? So, all four letters is going to be your long I. A, O, E, U together, kind of like your home position. All of those vowels together is your long I sound. So let's practice that. And it looks weird, okay? You are going to have to see this from now on as a long I. Okay? This is why those index cards will be real good for you. From now on, that's going to be a long I. All those little letters together. So here we go. And I'm just going to say I. Ready? I, home position. 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 How'd y'all do? Okay, now look at your notes, okay? Because you can't do like, they got to come out on the same line, okay? If you're doing something and they're not coming out on the same line, you're doing what Linda was talking about earlier, you're stacking them. Or you're not stacking them, you're not hitting, make sure all four letters is on the same line, okay? So now we're going to practice the short I with the long I, okay? Now, just make sure your left thumb doesn't hit those other letters when you're doing the short I. It's just your right thumb. When you put both thumbs down together, it's long I. Okay? Right thumb only is short I. So here we go. If you have to look at your keyboard chart, okay? So you can picture it in your mind where it's at, okay? You can picture in your mind when you're learning something new. What is it? Where is it? Okay? It's very important. Here we go. Home position. I, home position. Home position. I, 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 home position. Home position. I, home position. Okay, now it's harder when you put it all together with these words, okay? So we're gonna practice the following words, and I'm gonna split them for y'all, like we did earlier. And I'm gonna do that Katie said we're gonna do the first word here, and I'm gonna split it, and then we're gonna write the word 3 times. Okay, here we go. B, I, D, bid, bid, bid. B, I, D, bide, 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 home position. B, I, G, big, home position. Big, home position. Big, home position. D, I, D, did, home position. Did, home position. Did, home position. E, G, egg, home position. Egg, home position. Egg, home position. F, E, fee, home position. Fee, home position. Fee, home position. F, I, B, fib, home position. Fib, home position. Fib, home position. F, I, G, fig, home position. Fig, home position. Fig, home position. G, A, G, gag, home position. Gag, home position. Gag, home position. G, I, G, gig, home position. Gig, home position. Gig, home position. H, A, G, hag, home position. Hag, home position. Hag, home position. H, A, D, head, home position. Head, home position. Head, home position. H, E, D, heed, home position. Heed, home position. Heed, home position. H, I, D, hid, home position. Hid, home position. Hid, home position. H, I, D, hide, home position. Hide, home position. Hide, home position. How'd y'all do? Okay, so see, you could, in reading steno, you should be able to read that. H-E-D, head. Okay? That's easy. You want to be able to read everything, all of this column, just as easy as that. That's what you need to try to picture in your mind. Steno. This is where you want to concentrate. You want to automatically say that's a B, okay? And that's a long I, okay? This is where you want to focus, okay? This one's easy, head. That's easy. But you've got to recognize these combination of letters. And you've got to be able to see that EU is I. So just practice this, just keep going over and over and over it until you don't stop. You don't hesitate, okay? Once you don't hesitate, you've got it, okay?
Does anyone have any questions? because your question may be someone else's question.
That's right.
Problems?
Okay. You know, y'all just like y'all been doing. Okay. Okay, we're going to move on. So, we haven't learned all the vowels yet, but we're getting close. Okay, these are the ones we have learned. Okay, write these. Now, I'll say them. I'll just say A, E, I. Okay, here we go. These are all our long vowels, okay? Long vowels take more fingers to write down, okay? Here we go. Remember that. A, home position. A, home position. Remember, that's A and I, okay? Together. E, home position. E, home position. E, home position. I, home position. I, home position. I, home position. E, home position. E, home position. E, home position. A, home position. A, home position. A, home position. I, home position. That's everything. I, home position. I, home position. Are there any questions? Okay. We'll move on to lesson 10. Okay. Now, when you learn a new letter, remember to look at your keyboard. Okay. Now, we, you know, everything we've learned so far, you have your initial letter, like your F, you had an F on this side, you learned a D, you had a D on that side, you learned the G, you had a G on this side, you learned the S, you have an S on this side. Now it's going to get a little bit more complicated, okay? More letters, okay? Remember, you're going to learn the entire alphabet. So, now you're going to learn the J, okay? Now, this is your J. It's going to be your 4 fingers. It's going to take 4 fingers to do SKWR. Looks really strange, okay? I mean, this SKWR, from now on, initial, that's your J sound. J, like John, okay? Because you're going to be able to write anything you hear because it's all phonetic. John, just to give you an example, you have it. Let's say J, okay? The name J. J, you've learned the long I. J-A-I, J, okay? G, okay? Jet, J-E-T. Jed, J-E-D, okay? So this is your initial J. Now, words end with J. You know we learned words do not end with H, okay? But in sound, this is all about phonetics, in sound. In sound, they do end in J, okay? These letters, P-L-B-G, is your J, your ending J sound, okay? Oh, they give you some examples here. Jan, J-A-N. You haven't learned that. Jar, J, jet, Jim. See how these words start with the G sound? Gel. But you're not going to use the G when you write, okay? Jig, Jim, Jin, Jot, John, Jug, Just, Judge, Jim. Okay? See how the G and the J sound? Okay? So we're going to learn, no matter, it says here, to write all the words that start with the sound of J, no matter how they are spelt. No matter how they are spelled. Somebody was talking about spelling earlier. It's all about sounds, okay? It's all about how you hear it. To write the initial J, use the left hand, your small, ring, middle, and index finger to depress the 4 keys of the initial side lower back, SKWR, together, okay? That's not the whole keyboard like the home position, so this is not too bad, okay? All right, so just kind of practice, just play with it and just hit all 4 at the same time, okay? Because from now on, you're going to have to recognize that as a J, okay? Because we don't have a J. You don't see it on either side of this. That is the J on steno, okay? So that's how you write it. Make sure you press all those keys quickly, okay? When you learn a new letter like this one, it looks very foreign to you in steno, okay? And see how it looks? It looks like, oh my gosh, what is that? Well, that is a J. And this is where those index cards, or whatever you do to focus on steno, you're gonna have to start seeing that when those 4 letters are together, that's a J, okay? Just like the long I. When all the vowels are pressed, that's a long I. Okay, well, let's practice writing the J, okay? Now, they're not going to, they expect you to memorize this, okay? So they're not going to put all those letters down here. Anytime they have a J, these are all combinations except for your H, okay? All of these are combinations on your left hand. Okay, this one just takes all 4 fingers. Okay, here we go. Oh, and that's also called, remember the first day we were talking about banks, top banks, lower banks? This is your left bottom bank. Banks, you got top banks, you have bottom banks, you have left, and you have right. This is your left bottom bank, left hand. Okay, so everything you're going to be doing right now is all going to be your left hand. Okay, here we go. Ready? J, 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 home position. Look at your keyboard right now if you have to. Let me bring it back down. There we go. J, 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 home position. 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 Now look at your notes or look at your screens and make sure you have SKWR, okay? All 4 of them, not 3 of them, because that's a different letter. So all 4 is the J, okay? So just look at it, look at your notes, make sure you hit all 4 at the same time. Okay, now I'm just going to say the letters. You're going to have to remember how these letters are written, okay? So here we go. All with the left hand. J, B, H, F, home position. H, J, F, B, home position. F, J, H, B, home position. H, B, F, J, home position. F, J, B, H, home position. J, B, H, F, home position. H, J, F, B, home position. F, J, H, B, home position. H, B, F, J, home position. F, J, B, H, home position. J, B, H, F, home position. H, J, F, B, home position. F, J, H, B, home position. H, B, F, J, home position. F, J, B, H, home position. How'd y'all do? Okay, good. Oh, all right. So we'll move on. Now we're going to learn the final J, okay? Now this one looks really strange if you just look at it, okay? Now that PBLG, okay? You're going to use this J No matter how words are spelt, it's how it sounds. Age, badge, rage, ledge, hedge. You hear that, Jay? Siege, ridge, fridge, lodge, hodge, podge, huge, rouge, budge. Hear that sound? It sounds like a J. Doesn't matter how it's spelled, but it sounds like a J. So when it sounds like a J, you're gonna write a J. So to write the final J, you're gonna use your right hand middle finger and your ring finger to press the PB and LG keys together. Okay, so try that. Okay, try together your middle and ring fingers. Okay, middle and ring, and hit that together. All 4 letters should come out. Okay, PBLG. That is your final J. Keep your eyes on the chart until you learn the proper position. Okay? After learning the proper position, for the letters, memorize where your fingers need to go in order to write the letter. So look at where your fingers are. Look at your paper. Make sure you're hitting all 4 keys. Okay? From now on, that PBLG is going to be a J sound. Okay? You're just going to have to practice this. This is new, but this is why it takes 2 hours of practice every day. Okay? Because you're going to have to look at that and say, oh, that's a J. Okay? So, let's practice that right now. The final J, it's final because it has that little hyphen. That means it's on the right-hand side. So, here we go. J, 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 home position. 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 Now, look at your notes, okay? Your L, Tanya, you know, just gave me an idea. Why don't you sit in the middle of the room so they can just watch you right here? No, that'd be great. You be our model. Okay, now the J, the L, okay? See the L right here on your left hand? That L, your little finger, your 4th finger is weak, okay? So when you look at your letters, make sure that L is coming out right here, okay? Make sure that L is there, okay? It's just a naturally weak finger, okay? So, but you must have PBLG all at the same time, no letters missing, because it's not going to be a J if you have any of those letters missing. Okay. Tanya, I just thought you were doing a great job. That way they can watch you.
I was trying to get him on it.
Okay. Here we go. Now, all of this is going to be with your right hand, okay? Because it has that little hyphen. Here we go. J, B, D, F, home position. D, J, F, B, home position. F, J, D, B, home position. D, B, J, F, home position. J, B, D, F, home position. D, J, F, B, home position. F, J, D, B, home position. D, B, J, F, home position. J, B, D, F, home position. D, J, F, B, home position. F, J, D, B, home position. D, B, J, F, home position. How'd y'all do? Good? Okay. Now look, this looks really weird. Look at all these letters here, okay? Okay? So, I remember when I was in theory, and you're not in theory, you're just learning letters here, I would write a J above that. so I could remember, because somebody said, well, can I write? Yes, you can, okay? I wanted to remember this PBLG was J, okay? So if that helps you do it, okay, you're going to put AIJ, okay? Whatever you have to do to remember this, because that's key. Whatever it works for you. That worked for me. So let's practice these words, and I'm going to do it like, divide the letters like we have been, and I'm going to try to go slow, okay? Here we go. A. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. A, J, H, H, age, home position. Age, home position. Age, home position. B, A, G, bag, home position. Bag, home position. Bag, home position. B, A, J, badge, home position. Badge, home position. Badge, home position. B, A, bay, home position. Bay, home position. Bay, home position. H, A, J, hedge. B, thank you. A, J, beige, home position. Beige, home position. Beige, home position. H, A, G, hag, home position. Hag, home position. Hag, home position. H, A, J, hedge, home position. Hedge, home position. Hedge, home position. G, A, G, gag, home position. Gag, home position. Gag, home position. J, A, B, jab, home position. Jab, home position. Jab, home position. J, A, D, jade, home position. Jade, home position. Jade, home position. G, I, G, gig, home position. Gig, home position. Gig, home position. J, I, G, jig, home position. Jig, home position. Jig, home position. J, I, F, jiff, home position. Jiff, home position. Jiff, home position. J, A, G, jag, home position. Jag, home position. Jag, home position. How'd y'all do? Good. Okay, these are the kind of words, all these words that you have, okay, those are the ones you want to put on your index cards. Okay, these are the ones you want to record. Those that you're having a good time, a hard time, like hag, the word hag, you're not going to have a hard time with that, probably. You know, you shouldn't have a hard time. You should be able to read that one. Hag and steno, okay? Now you're going to have to memorize where your fingers are going to be. But those others is what I'm talking about, being able to read steno. That's what you're going to have to practice, okay? Are there any questions? Okay, well, let's review. This is the last thing we're going to do today, probably, is review lessons 9 and 10. And then we'll be done.
Mary, I wanted to tell them about real time.
Oh,
forgot
ahead.
about that part at the end. When we-
Oh, okay. You want to do it now? Because they're going to be like, they're going to want to leave. Now's the time.
Wait, do you want to do your last thing?
No. You
Okay.
tell them.
Okay, so I forgot to tell y'all, part of my job as well is I have to write real time, and I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with real time or not, but so what y'all are doing right now, I have my computer hooked up to it, and then it's hooked up to my judge's computer. And so what I read, what comes up on my computer comes up on her computer as well. And so some of the judges require that you do it, and mine just wants me to do it when like we're on trial and stuff, which is good for me. But so I don't know if any of y'all get nervous like when we're standing over y'all, but it's really good practice because someone is always going to be maybe looking at your stuff, and so this is good practice for that. So you know, it may make you nervous or whatever, but you'll get over it real quick. She knows I'm not perfect. I'm not a real-time writer, but I do write real time for her. So I don't know if anyone has any questions about real time.
Are there any questions about real time? Do y'all know what that means? It's feeding it out to a screen.
The screen that's on her desk. She's seeing the actual words.
Right.
Though you're typing it in steno.
I'm typing it in steno, and then my software will translate it because I told my writing is everyone's dictionary is unique to them. And so my dictionary will translate everything into English as much as possible, and then she'll get it. And so if she's busy doing something else, and then she's just like, oh, there's an objection, what was the question? You know, she can look at her screen without asking me to read back. But that is another part of my job.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you that. I have to read back too, so if a jury's having a question like, you know, we have a dispute here, can we get testimony read back? And so there are times that I have to read back. I used to have to read back from my paper steno way back when, but now I'm able just to print it up and read like that.
So does the asterisk delete on the judge's screen?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I know you hit asterisk to delete. but
Yeah.
Like you hit it,
Yeah.
and it would
It'll
correct
fix it.
whatever's on. Okay.
Right. And she knows I'm not perfect either, and she can read through, you know, if I have a hard time or whatever. For the most part, she can read through it, and if she ever has a question, she'll ask me. And my software set up where it'll come up in English, but I also have my steno here. So sometimes I may not be able to read it because it's a misprint, you know, it didn't translate, but I'll go back to my steno and she's like, oh, this is what I was doing. This is the word, so.
And real time is just like what Kathleen was doing over here where it was coming up. And then the captioning is just when it gets sent to our TV screens or to the TV station and then gets broadcast. That's what makes it captioning. But real time is just watching as it's being said and it's coming up.
But I would think most reporters at the courthouse are writing real time at least for themselves,
Yes.
right?
I would hope so.
Right?
Oh, yes.
And is this a system or a program that you purchased on your own? Or
Yes, and everybody probably has, I mean, I have one that probably they don't have, you know, so.
And when you start school, you'll sign a contract that will allow you to have a student version of the same software that we use. The only restriction on the software that you would use starting theory than what we have is it'll only allow you to write 50 pages at a time. So of course you can go out and take a job and only write 50 pages, but that they just want to give you a taste of, you know, starting to build your dictionary and all of that while you're in school, and so you'll hit the ground running.
Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you, I did a case, actually it was a 4-month case that we started at Labor Day and we finished the week before Christmas, last year, year before, and I fed that case out to an entire team, an entire legal team that was at a hotel, and so we were able to feed out the real-time feed over the internet. So they had it on their iPads. They had it. I had a Scopus out of Oregon. So someone was doing the record for me. She was following me while I was writing. She was cleaning up the record as I was writing. Okay. It was called that was called a real-time daily, and we did that for 4 months. We could feed it to their iPads. We could feed it to your iPhone. You could be anywhere in the world and get our feed if I gave you the code. So that's why. Court reporters will be here for a long time because we have the ability to do that. the ability to send anything over the internet like that. So when she was talking about your judge, you can feed it to your judge, but you can feed it to many, many people at one time. I think we had like, I don't know, over 10 feeds, 15 feeds on that case.
The irony of the timing of this, the real time really got a lot of publicity with O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
The O.J. Simpson trial, you probably had just become a reporter about that time too, or had you been out for quite a while, 95?
I've been out, or I've been in court recruits lately, so I got out in 95.
Yeah, I got out in 94, and I mean, they were just finishing up that trial, and I had just finished up the deposition, but, you know, they were doing what Mary was saying. I mean, CNN was calling those two reporters that were on that case saying, hey, we've got a 5 o'clock, you know, can we get that transcript now? And those girls were putting it out. They retired after the O.J. Simpson trial.
I'm still working.
But sometimes we'll have help, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
in the morning, someone will do the afternoon. Or
Yeah, there were two
even break it
reporters.
up.
There were two of us.
Okay.
The case I did for 4 months, there were 2 reporters. We had one person that we had hired from Oregon that helped us with the case, that she was our scopus.
And they actually
And I
pay
think
you
that
more
case
to
was-
do that, don't they? They
Yes.
Pay you, do they pay you?
Yes, they'll pay you double. It's called daily. We get the record out that day within hours of when we take it. Okay? So that's just a skill that you can do from this, doing the alphabet, and you'll get paid the big bucks for doing something like that. But that's what you'll learn. Okay?
So the lady in Oregon, was she freelance or was she?
She was our scopus. She was the one that was able to edit while we're sitting there. We don't have time to edit the record, and that record has to go out within a few hours. So she was from Oregon. She was 2 hours away from us, which was perfect because we would start at trial at 9:30.
Sure, but is she an employee or was